Stop. Don't scroll. God has rerouted your entire day to make sure you see this before you take another step. That decision you're wrestling with, the one that looks logical on the surface but is stealing the peace from your home and your sleep. This is an emergency message about that exact thing. Someone has been living with their soul on high alert for too long. You go to bed physically exhausted, but your mind races, replaying scenarios, second-guessing your own judgment. The sleep you get is shallow, a state of low-grade vigilance, and when you wake at 3 in the morning with that familiar, unnamed tightness in your chest, it's the feeling of a sentry waiting for a confirmation that never arrives. And then there is the decision, a simple choice that has frozen you. You feel paralyzed by a critical, high-stakes decision where every option feels foggy. The path of least resistance feels like a compromise, but the path of faith feels unsupported and terrifying. You've noticed a pattern. You make a choice in the heat of the moment, and it already has the taste of a mistake. You keep taking different roads that somehow lead to the same place of frustration. A loop you've diagnosed but cannot seem to break. This battle is no longer just your own. It's costing your family their sanctuary. You walk into your home and the atmosphere shifts. The unresolved tension you carry is so thick, your wife has stopped asking, "How was your day?" because she already knows the answer is written all over your face. Your son sees you wrestling and is learning that spiritual leadership is a heavy burden, not a joy. Your presence is physically there, but your peace is not. In this message, I have been sent to deliver 3 things to you. First, I'm going to show you exactly why the spiritual fog and resistance of the last 90 days has not been a sign of your failure, but the final preparation for the mantle you have been asking for. You will recognize yourself not in the general, but in the specific. Second, I will deliver to you the one Hebrew word for the specific kind of discernment you are lacking right now. The moment you hear it, the well-disguised trap waiting in front of you will become painfully obvious. And third, before you leave here, I will declare over you 3 new names of your spiritual identity, sealing you against this pattern of error for good. I don't promise that this will solve every problem by tomorrow morning. I promise that if you stay until the end, you will leave here knowing something you did not know before, holding something specific in your hand, and with something declared over you that remains. If you leave in the middle, you leave without the seal. Think of yourself as a seed planted in winter. The ground is hard, it is dark. There is no external evidence of life, no sign of a coming spring. But you were not dropped here by accident. You were placed here with intention by a hand that knew exactly what you carried and knew that this exact pressure, this exact cold, was necessary for you to break open. The truth is, you have not been fighting this battle badly. You have been fighting it unarmed. You have been trying to win a war of discernment with the weapons of endurance, and the enemy loves when you do that. You have been fighting without the very instrument you were promised, one you don't even know exists yet. If you are the one this message is for, type "I am standing watch" in the comments below as a declaration that you refuse to move without a signal. And on this very subject, on breaking this cycle of decisions that drain your body, freeze your future, and bring a storm into your home, there is something King Solomon recorded, a 2-minute key that fits into your common day, and I am going to show it to you further on. Store that in the back of your mind. And if for some reason you have to leave before the end of this video, that instrument is already waiting for you in the first pinned comment, right below, but I urge you to stay until the end, because without the context that is about to be revealed, the key will not have the same power in your hand. But what happens to a seed that no one planted, no one waters, and yet insists on growing? You arrived here because a decree was issued in heaven on your behalf. But between the echo of that decree in a foggy field and its fulfillment on solid ground, there is an interval the enemy knows better than you do, and it is in this interval, in this fog, that most of the chosen lose what was granted, not because the decree was revoked, but because they arrived home on Monday morning and did not have the instrument to navigate the trap that was waiting. Solomon was the wisest man who ever lived, and that is not the title of a history book. It is a biblical record signed by God himself. When he had the chance to ask for anything at all, he did not ask for wealth, he did not ask for long life, he did not ask for the heads of his enemies. he asked for wisdom. And God was so moved by the request that he gave him the wisdom and everything else besides. He judged the dispute between the two mothers when no one else in the kingdom knew how. He wrote 3,000 proverbs. He governed Israel at the historical apex that nation has ever seen before or since. The Queen of Sheba traveled for months by camel just to test this wisdom, and when she returned, she said not even half of it had been told to her. And Jesus himself, Jesus in person, quoted Solomon by name, and he did not take this wisdom to the grave. He left it recorded with a surgical precision that has crossed 3,000 years without losing its edge. He recorded how to stop walking through the same false door that always leads back to the wilderness. He recorded how to come home and be a safe harbor for your family, instead of a storm of indecision, so that your house finally feels the difference and doesn't need you resolved, but needs you present at the dinner table. And he recorded how to walk with the posture of one who can read the invisible map, not one who is perpetually lost in the fog, so you can stop asking for directions from those who are just as lost, stop making decisions in the heat of pain, and stop believing in those who sell cheap miracles. Before I name the instrument, move your thumb to the first pinned comment right below. Don't click yet. Just let your gaze reach it and recognize that it's there. Do that now. I have gathered this into a guide called The Code of Solomon's Wisdom. It is a main written guide in PDF that you read in a 40-minute sitting, plus the audio of the Ritual of the Righteous Sleep in MP3 to listen to before sleep, and the written guide of the 7 morning decrees in PDF to open in the first hour of the day. It is in the first pinned comment right below. It is the union of the wisdom of Proverbs with the principles of peaceful restoration, which take a person from a state of survival and bring them to a state of clarity and decision. Solomon wrote it. I organized it for the common day you are living now, this week that begins tomorrow. Along with the main guide come 2 instruments that I placed there because without them, the guide would have a hole in it. The first is the Ritual of the Righteous Sleep. 10 minutes before you go to sleep, guided by what David wrote in Psalm 4:8. I will both lay me down in peace and sleep, for thou, Lord, only makest me dwell in safety. This is not a modern relaxation technique. It is the act of handing over guard duty for the landmines you navigated all day to the one who does not sleep, so your soul can stop standing watch over something that is already in the hands of someone who does not need you awake to defend what is yours. For those who no longer remember what it's like to lie down and have the mind shut down along with the eyes. The second is the awakening of clarity, the 7 morning decrees. 5 minutes upon waking, before your phone, before your coffee, before the first message the world tries to write into you. 7 decrees, spoken in your own voice, taken from the wisdom of Proverbs, that position the day before. The day positions you. This is not positive affirmation, it is a biblical decree in your own voice. The posture of an heir before the calendar, the bills, and the routine speak for you. To start the day as one who was called, not as one who was crushed before 8 in the morning. And the value, oh the value, less than a Starbucks coffee in the afternoon, less than a simple Sunday lunch with your family, less than a tank of gas to drive to church on Sunday. I set it at this value on purpose, not because it is worth little, it is worth what Solomon left recorded for 3,000 years. I set it at this value, so that the only obstacle between you and the instrument would be your decision to extend your hand. Not price, not schedule, not travel, only your hand reaching for the link. And there is a 7-day guarantee. If you open it, use it for a week and it doesn't serve you, you send 1 email and get all your money back. And here is the part that no one else does. You get to keep the 2 bonus instruments. The Ritual of the Righteous Sleep stays with you. The awakening of clarity. The 7 morning decrees stays with you, even after the refund. This is not a generous concession. It is the recognition that the risk of testing it cannot be yours. The risk is ours. The only risk left for you is the risk of not testing. And the risk of not testing is the risk of leaving here with the decree opened in heaven, only to lose it on Monday morning for lack of an instrument. Several people here on this channel in recent weeks have already received this instrument. Fathers, grandparents, people who carry their household on their backs. I've read messages from those who slept through the night for the first time in months, from a husband who sat down at the dinner table and his wife noticed the difference without needing to ask. from a grandmother who managed to pray with her grandchild without the weight of the day crossing the prayer. It's not magic, it's the right instrument in the right hand. And while they sleep tonight with their soul handed over, your calendar keeps running. The next night you will lay your head on the pillow with your soul still on high alert is not months away. It is tonight, maybe 3 hours from now. The next morning, you will wake up thinking about the battles, the accounts, what you have not yet resolved. Starting the day at a disadvantage is tomorrow. Every night without the ritual of the righteous sleep is a night your body will pay for. Every morning without the awakening of clarity, the 7 morning decrees is a morning the world gets to write its script on you first. The cost of delaying is not 0, but do not leave now. The ceiling is not yet finished. What I need to show you next is greater than any instrument that Solomon left recorded. It is the Hebrew name for what is happening to you at this very moment, the name of the exception that was opened in heaven because of what you did today. And when you hear that name, you will understand why everything up to this point has been preparation for a single word: stay. Before I tell you what that is, I need to validate who I am speaking to. Because the message that comes next is not for everyone. It is for a specific carrier of a specific calling who is in a very specific kind of wilderness. The spirit of confusion loves to make a chosen one feel like an orphan, isolated and unique in their struggle. But there are recorded signs for this season, a divine fingerprint left on the lives of those being prepared for a mantle. I am going to list 5 of them. Listen. The first sign is that your prayers have changed. They used to be conversations, dialogues. Now they feel like monologues that hit the ceiling and fall back down, unanswered. You spend hours on your knees, but instead of peace you receive more analysis. You leave your prayer closet not with a clear directive from heaven, but with a heavier list of pros and cons. What you have been interpreting as a closed heaven is actually a sign that God is not giving you an answer, because He is trying to give you an entirely new organ of perception. The second sign is the weight of a repeating pattern. A critical, high-stakes decision has you frozen. It's not just one decision, it's a series of them, where different paths mysteriously lead to the same dead end. You've diagnosed the loop. You can see the familiar scenery of the outcome before you even make the choice. But you cannot seem to break it. This paralysis you feel, this fog that surrounds every option, is the unmistakable sign that you have reached the absolute limit of your own wisdom and are standing at the threshold of receiving His. The third sign is the silent dinner table. The weight of your inner battle has become a silent member of your family. You walk through the door and the peace in the house leaves the room. Your wife's eyes, once full of questions, are now filled with a quiet, resigned concern. She has learned not to ask about your day because the storm is written all over your face. Your child sees your struggle and is learning that the call of God is a burden to be endured, not a joy to be carried. This is the sign that your battle is no longer just yours. It is costing your family their sanctuary. The fourth sign is the leak. It feels like your resources, your energy, your finances, your very life force are draining out through invisible holes. You work twice as hard for half the result. Small, unexpected expenses appear out of nowhere, like tiny fissures in a dam. That constant low-grade anxiety you've been rebuking as a lack of faith is not from the enemy. It is the spiritual alarm system of the Holy Spirit, a divine agitation screaming, "Do not move forward. There is a hidden danger here. The path looks solid, but it will not hold your weight." The fifth sign is a profound silence where you expected a confirmation. You have asked God for a sign, for a clear word, for a simple yes or no, and the only answer you have received is silence. Not a peaceful silence, but a loud, ringing silence that feels like disapproval or abandonment. You are interpreting this silence as rejection, when in fact, it is protection. It is the strategic pause of a loving father who refuses to give you a green light to walk into a perfectly disguised trap. His silence is not absence. It is mercy. If you recognize yourself in at least 3 of these 5 signs, write in the comments below, "I carry what no one else carries." This is not a statement of pride. It is a declaration of recognition. It is you standing before God and the host of heaven, finally acknowledging the weight of the mantle you've been trying to pretend is not there. Do it now, do you see? Each of these signs is a point of pressure, You have been looking at your life and seeing only the crushing force, the darkness, the heat. You feel like a piece of common coal being ground into dust. But in the economy of heaven, this is not a process of destruction. It is a process of formation. This pressure, this heat, this darkness, this is the chamber where God makes diamonds. The immense weight you feel is the very thing giving you the eternal substance you will need for where you are going. Before I give you the Hebrew name for what you carry, I must remind you of something. The instrument that Solomon left recorded, the one I mentioned at the beginning, it does not replace the name you are about to receive. It helps you sustain the name in the common day after the name is given. The name identifies your position and your authority. The instrument allows you to operate from that position without being overrun by the fog of the everyday battle. First, the name, then the instrument. Stay. There is a word in Hebrew that defines exactly what you are carrying, exactly what this season is. When I say it, you will never again look at this period of your life as a failure or a punishment. You will see it for what it truly is, a divine setup. Stay with me. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply. Place your hand on your chest. I am about to give you the name for the spiritual fog you have been living in. This is not a diagnosis. This is an activation. The moment you hear it, it will begin to lose its power over you, because a thing named is a thing that can be addressed. The word is Hebrew. It is spelled B-I-N-A-H. It is pronounced B-Na-H. Say it aloud with me, quietly. Binah. Many translate this word simply as understanding or intelligence, but that is the shallow husk of a much deeper reality. It is like calling a master key a simple piece of metal. The true meaning of Binah is architectural discernment. It is the divine intelligence to perceive the underlying structure of a situation, to see the invisible lines that connect a scattered set of circumstances. It is the wisdom between the lines, the faculty that distinguishes the pattern from the noise. It is what God Himself used to establish the heavens, according to the book of Proverbs. It is not just knowing what is happening. It is understanding how it all fits together in the spiritual realm. The reason you are paralyzed at the crossroads is that you are trying to solve a three-dimensional problem with two-dimensional vision. You have been asking God for a map when He is trying to give you the very eyes that can read the invisible ink on the map you already hold. The fog you see is the evidence of a dimensional shift. You have been trying to make a choice based on logic and feeling when the choice must be made with Binah. The scripture declares this in Proverbs chapter 4, verse 7. Wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting get understanding. That last word, understanding, as in the original tongue, is Binah. It is not an add-on. It is the crown jewel of wisdom itself. It is the non-negotiable faculty for anyone called to build, to lead, or to navigate a high-stakes path. So this season of your life, this period of intense confusion and wrestling, it has a name. Before it has an end, it has a name. And its name is Binah. It is the final exam room where God tests a leader's ability to see beyond the surface before He grants them access to the next level of His plans. You are not being punished. You are being initiated into Binah. Do you remember the seed planted in winter? The pressure, the darkness, the cold. You thought it was meant to crush you. It was not. It was meant to hold you until the code was spoken. Binah is the code. It is the word that unlocks the sealed file of your identity for this season. It is the frequency that your spirit was created to recognize, the command that tells the seed it is now safe to break the soil. But now that you know the name of what you carry, I must show you that someone carried this exact weight before you. Someone stood at a crossroads that was even foggier, with a decision that was even more impossible. And what happened to him, the way he used an instrument to activate his own Binah, is the key that will unlock everything for you. I promise to come back to this. It's now. You are not the first to stand at a foggy crossroads, facing a decision where every path looks like a mistake. You are not the first to have your discernment tested in a high-stakes arena where there are no witnesses and the truth is buried under layers of desperate claims. Solomon, in all his God-given wisdom, stood in this exact place. Two women came before him, both claiming to be the mother of the one living child. One was telling the truth. One was a liar willing to see a child destroyed out of spite. There was no evidence, no witness, only two conflicting stories. It was a perfect trap of confusion, a two-dimensional problem that logic alone could not solve. He did not pray for a sign from heaven. He did not weigh the emotional arguments. He did not guess. He reached for an instrument of revelation. He called for a sword and commanded, "Divide the living child in two, and give half to the one and half to the other." This was not a solution. This was an activation of Binah. It was a calibrated test designed to bypass the lying mind and expose the true heart. The false mother agreed, her bitterness exposed. The true mother cried out in surrender, willing to give up her son to save his life. Her heart was revealed. The fog was cleared not by more information, but by an action that forced the hidden spirit into the light. That is the wisdom you are being called into. A wisdom that does not just analyze the fog, but knows how to wield a sword of truth that cuts through it. The years you have spent praying, the nights you have spent wrestling, the seasons you have spent learning the hard way, none of it was wasted. It was all forging the vessel that could finally receive the request Solomon made, not for an easier path, but for the eyes to see the path that was already there. Your preparation, which has felt like punishment, is about to be revealed as your qualification for the throne room. And as you feel the weight of this truth settle on you, I want you to do something. There is someone else in your life who is standing at their own foggy crossroads, listening to their own two conflicting voices. When you press the like button on this video, it is an act of intercession. You are telling the heavens, I am not the only one. Send this signal to the next watcher in the line. It is not for me, it is for them. And now, for the names that are being written over you in the courts of heaven. The first name is Watcher at the Crossroads. This is your name for this season of stillness. You are not lost, you are posted. You are a sentinel placed at a strategic intersection, and your primary duty is not to move but to discern. You have been seeing this fog as an obstacle, but God has been using it as a filter. It is designed to stop anyone who moves by sight alone. To be a watcher at the crossroads means you are authorized to stand still without apology. It means your value is not in your forward momentum, but in your patient observation. You have been given the authority to wait for the divine signal, unmoved by the urgency of the world or the panic in your own heart. This stillness is not passivity. It is a weapon. It starves the enemy of a rushed decision. Your second name is Bearer of the Plumb Line. A plumb line does not consult its surroundings. It responds only to the unchangeable pull of gravity. It is the absolute standard of vertical truth. This name is your commission of authority. You are no longer to judge a situation based on its appearance, its potential, or how it makes you feel. You are to hold up the plumb line of God's character against it. As the bearer of the plumb line, you have been given the divine right to test every spirit and every opportunity. If it does not align with the vertical truth of God, with His peace, His integrity, His kindness, you are authorized to dismiss it no matter how attractive it looks on the surface. You are no longer a victim of deception, you are an agent of measurement. Your third name is Architect of the Right Path. This is your name of sending, your ultimate purpose. You are enduring this intense training in discernment, not just to find your own way out of the fog. You are being prepared to build a road so clearly marked that those who follow you will not have to face the same traps. You are not just a traveler. You are becoming a map maker. To be an architect of the right path means your personal deliverance is linked to a generational legacy. Every trap you uncover, every false door you mark, every landmine you expose becomes part of the blueprint for the safe path. God is trusting you with the pain of this process because the wisdom you gain will protect hundreds who walk behind you. Your journey is becoming a highway for others. Do you see? Solomon operated on a frequency of Binah that allowed him to hear the truth beneath the noise. These three names, Watcher at the Crossroads, Bearer of the Plumb Line, Architect of the Right Path, are not just titles, they are calibrators. They are tuning your spiritual receiver to that same divine frequency, the one you were born to recognize, but had forgotten how to find. But there is something the enemy does not want you to know about these three names, because when you know it, he loses the primary weapon he has been using against you since this test began. Now that you have been named, the battle changes. The enemy can no longer fight an anonymous soldier wandering in the fog. He must now contend with a commissioned officer who has been given the blueprint of the battlefield. The adversary has 3 primary tactics he will deploy against you starting tomorrow morning, and for each tactic, God has provided a specific weapon of counterattack. What I am giving you now is the strategic map for the fight that comes after the revelation. Memorize it. The first tactic is the erosion of comparison. The adversary will show you the progress of others, their harvest season, their answered prayers, their swift journeys. He will whisper, "You are behind. God's calendar for you is running slow. You missed the window." He does this to attack your identity as a watcher at the crossroads, trying to make you abandon your post out of a fear of being left behind. He wants you to trade your unique, strategic position for a frantic race on someone else's track. Your weapon against this is the decree of the singular path. You must speak it aloud, silencing the lie with the truth. Say, "My trajectory is unique. My season is not their season. I will not compare my winter to another's spring." This is not an affirmation. It is a legal declaration in the courts of heaven. It realigns you with God's custom-made timeline for your life and invalidates the enemy's attempt to judge you by a foreign standard. Your path is yours alone, and its timing is perfect. The second tactic is the erosion of perception. The enemy will surround you with noise, a sudden appliance failure, an unexpected bill, a conflict at work, small fires designed to create static. He does this to make God's strategic silence feel like rejection. He wants you to confuse the absence of a loud voice with the absence of God's presence, baiting you into making a move based on the panic of the static, not the quiet instruction of the Spirit. This tactic targets your role as the bearer of the plumb line. Your weapon is the memory of the altar. In your history with God, there is at least one moment where His presence was so real, His intervention so undeniable, that it cannot be argued with. That memory is not just a comfort, it is a legal precedent. You bring that memory before God as evidence. You say, "You were faithful then, and your character has not changed." The memory of a past, undeniable miracle is the weapon that silences the doubt of the present, temporary silence. The third tactic is the erosion of persistence. This is the enemy's most desperate and dangerous move. When he senses you are 24 hours away from your breakthrough, he will gather the weight of the last 7 years of struggle and drop it on you all at once. It will feel like you are losing, like nothing has changed, like all this was just a moment of emotion. He is trying to make you quit on the final mile of the marathon. This is a direct assault on the architect of the right path. Your weapon is the resistance of the last second. You do not have to fight back. You do not have to advance. You only have to do one thing: refuse to move. When the wave of exhaustion and despair hits, you plant your feet, lock your knees, and stand your ground on the threshold. Your victory in this moment is not in pushing forward, but simply in not being pushed back. You hold the line. You endure for one more second. That is the entire strategy. What you receive on this channel are not just messages, they are strategic briefings for the remnant. Subscribe to this channel, not as a social media gesture, but as an act of spiritual positioning. It is you telling the Father, "I am tuning my receiver to this frequency. I am ready for the next set of coordinates. Keep me on the map." This is how you stay supplied for the road ahead. Do it now as a declaration of your commitment to the path. Now that you know what you are dealing with and what you have to fight with, there is a prayer that needs to be prayed. Not a prayer from me to you, a prayer that must be spoken by you in your own voice from your new position of authority, and I will lead you in it. Close your eyes now. Place both hands over your chest. Breathe deeply before we continue. Let the air fill your lungs, and as you exhale, speak this prayer in the quiet of your own heart. Father, I am tired. My body is exhausted from nights spent standing guard when I should be resting. My mind is worn thin from wrestling with decisions that have no clear answer. My home has become a reflection of my inner storm, and I am weary of bringing the battle to the dinner table. I confess that I have tried to solve this with my own strength, with my own logic, and I have only dug the hole deeper. I am at the end of myself, but I am still here. I have not abandoned my post. I receive the names you have spoken over me. I accept the office of Watcher at the crossroads. I take up the authority of the bearer of the plumb line. I step into the commission of the architect of the right path. I will not be moved by the fog. I will not be rushed by the noise. I will stand on this ground, on the word you have given me until the signal comes. I am ready to receive what you have to say to me now. My child, I have been here the entire time. I was not distant. I was closer than the air you breathe. I saw you in the nights, when you would stare at the ceiling, feeling that familiar tightness grip your chest before the first anxious thought could even form. I saw you turn over, trying to find a position where your body could forget the battle your mind refused to leave. I was there in the 3 a.m., silence, watching your soul stand watch over a territory that was already mine. That shallow sleep was not a sign of your failing faith. It was the vigil of a warrior I was training. I saw you at the crossroads, frozen not by fear, but by a holy hesitation you did not understand. I saw you make decisions out of sheer exhaustion, because the clarity you begged for did not arrive in time, and I saw you wake up the next morning with the sickening weight of the very error you had diagnosed but could not prevent. I saw the loop, and I saw your frustration as you walked through a different door only to arrive at the same barren room. That paralysis was not my punishment. It was my protection. I was holding you back from a path that looked right, but led to a cliff. I saw you walk through the door of your own home, carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, and I saw the moment your family learned to stop asking how you were. I saw the look in your wife's eyes. I saw your son learning a gospel of burdens. I saw it all, and I saw the pain it caused you. The silent grief of knowing that the people you would die for were paying the price for a battle you were fighting alone. That was never my plan. It was the cost of fighting unarmed, and so I have brought you here. I have allowed this pressure, this fog, this exhaustion for one purpose, to make you ready to receive the one thing you would not ask for, my own discernment. You have proven you will stand watch. You have proven you will endure the fire. Now I will give you the eyes to see the hidden map. The fog was the final test. The names are your new commission, and the path ahead, which was a field of landmines, will now become a highway built by your own hands. You are committed, you are commissioned, you are sent, you are committed. You are commissioned, you are sent, you are committed, you are commissioned, you are sent. Don't say amen yet. Stay here. Feel the weight of those words. Feel the seal being pressed into your spirit. The old name of confused and weary and mistaken has just been revoked in the courts of heaven. The new names are now on your record. Do you remember the seed? The one planted in the hard, cold winter ground. You thought the darkness was the end. You thought the pressure was meant to crush you. Look again. The ground has broken. The darkness did not win. That which was sown in confusion is now rising in authority. The winter was not a punishment. It was a womb. Now you may say, Amen. Don't open your eyes yet. Keep your hands on your chest. The seal is fresh. And it's exactly now that the adversary will try his first attack. What was sealed here will now be tested on the first Monday morning. When the alarm clock rings, when the routine returns, when the voice of the cycle tries to reinterpret what happened today as the fleeting emotion of a Sunday night, the enemy does not accept without a fight what has just been decreed over you, and whoever is commissioned without an instrument walks into an open field without what Solomon left recorded for this very moment. The exception has been opened in heaven. Now it must survive the common day. The Code of Solomon's wisdom is in the first pinned comment right below, not as a substitute for what you have received in this message, as a companion to defend what has been sealed, because a decree without an instrument rots on the first Monday morning, and the adversary counts on Monday less than a Starbucks coffee in the afternoon, less than a Saturday afternoon snack. With a 7-day guarantee and the 2 bonus instruments that stay with you even if it doesn't serve, the risk is ours. The hand is yours. Click now, while the decree is still alive in your chest. Not tomorrow, not after your shower, not after speaking to someone, because he who leaves it for later leaves it for never, and the adversary counts on later. That voice whispering right now, you'll see later, decide tomorrow, now is not the time. That voice is not yours. That voice is the voice of the one who lost today in the court of heaven and is trying to recover ground on your Monday morning. He has already counted on later, with every other message you received and postponed. He's counting on later now, too. This will not be another one. Click before the adversary speaks louder than the decree that has just been sealed over your head. And now, the last word. There is someone in your circle standing at their own foggy crossroads, carrying the same hidden fear of making a grave mistake. Someone who will arrive home tonight and bring that storm to their dinner table. Someone who will lay their head on the pillow with their soul still on high alert. That person will not stop scrolling on their own. They need someone to send them the map. That someone is you. This is not sharing a video. It is an act of intercession. Now close your eyes, breathe 3 times, and remain in silence until the video ends. What was done here needs to land. Do not scroll. Do not leave. Stay.